that's us. We started round the island. Nice little luffing batch, which I couldn't get, but I'm sure there'll be other incidents to show you. A lot of people on the rail up there. We're trucking along. We're trying to sit in the best of the bad tide and trying to make it down to the fair tide. Standard procedure. We're off to the Needles. Ease me down, buddy. Hold me there. Off to the Needles. A couple of hours. Whole load of boats up there, and I'll show you some boats down there in a minute. We're halfway up the beat, on the way to the Needles. Crisscrossy cross-tack with a load of Contessas. Standard procedure for us, the bane of our lives. Yeah, it's fairly hard going. Chris is doing a great job on the main sheet, keeping us tracking. Sailing up inside the jib because we're a bit overpowered, but we've got one reef in the main, and we're plodding along all right. We're now through the Hurst Narrows. We've gone through the bumpy bit. Wasn't as bumpy as expected, which is kind of nice. No losses, no gains. Mr. Murphy's made some nice tactical calls, and we're currently barreling along at about 4 knots of tide, 9 knots over the ground with 5 knots boat speed. The next turning mark, well, it's the first turning mark, is the Needles coming up, and I can see Murph's bum twitching because he's trying to make the call. Do we go inside or outside the wreck? Those of you not in the know, Google the Vivasi and you'll probably see some pretty epic fail pictures. The sheet's out.
Call it, Chrissy. Yeah,
you call us on the boat, Conch.
Yeah, it's clear ahead, straight behind.
So we just snuck in behind his transom. Yeah. Okay, I see him. Okay, driver's there. Wave on. Now we're almost at the Needles, and we're thinking of going inside the wreck, but it's 50-50 depending on the boats that are around us. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pick this camera up in the middle of that or not, but I will talk to you again as long as we haven't drowned. So that's us.
What's your course, Richie? Come down. You don't want to go up too soon.
No. We've gone through the wreck, and I don't mind saying I was a nervous wreck through it. Now let's see if we're going to put the kite up or not. Okay, that'll do. Go hoist. Okay, keep going. Okay, ease me. Okay, grab that down, on tight. Chrissy, downhaul. Trim me up there.
Leave that pole back if we can.
Okay, holding there. Okay, that's nice. Okay, ease a bit.
Yeah, come on. The downpole's slipping.
Ease. So we're chugging along the back of the island. It's pretty wavy. And we're having to do what I call IOR rowing, which, as you can see, I'm having to work bloody hard on the helm to keep the boat tracking. We've had one big broach, and we're doing our best not to have any more. That's it. when you're teaching sailing, or even when you're criticising your helm as you're sat on the rail. Yeah, you're using too much rudder. Well, that is not going to be said today. St Catherine's Lighthouse. We're a bit closer than we were when we did it double-handed the other week. This is where the Jocosaurus got his jump on us. This time, however, we have a navigator that has told us where to go in a nice way. Normally he says it in quite a nasty way. Anyway, we've done what he said. St Cats, hold up! Thanks, mate. Yes, I am wearing a silly hat. It is needed. My head, or trag, as my friends used to call it, is very burnt. We had a bit of a massive wipeout. Broached sat on our side. Fortunately, some divine fella or lass upstairs decided to ping our spinnaker sheet off the clew of the sail, which meant that we had to drop it to sort it out. We believe that was some sort of sign that said, get the kite down, boys, you've been a bit too ballsy. And girl, sorry, Tuesday's on board. Anywho, we are now just trucking past, where's this pussy? Hornchurch? Never heard of it. Anyway, we're going around Hornchurch. That's that place. And white sails, 23, 25 knots we had a minute ago. Some big seas. Everyone has now taken down spinnakers. We've got ours packed. We may pop it up again at some point. We'll see how big the kahoonies are. There, however, needs to be a kahoonie to swell ratio. And we're not sure what that ratio is. It's still a bit close out here though, isn't it? I mean, he is pretty close. The time is 25 past 3. I think my maths is correct in saying that's 6 hours we've been going. We are 1.5 miles off of Bembridge Ledge Cardinal marker. Those that watched the episode last time, you will remember it very well. We've still got between 20 knots-ish. 20 knots-ish as we've been coming along here. Pretty much everyone has gone white sails. We are winging the goose. I'll show you the goosey gander in a moment. Trudging along at about 6.5 knots. Hopefully we've got the final part of the ebbing tide against us, and in a minute as we get round the corner we'll have some of the flood to help us along our way back to beer. Actually, we just had a beer. We had a mid-race beer. Very nice it was too. That's a big boat behind us. What's that?
This is Coast Guard. Roger, can you confirm the position of the upside down?
So it's all a bit up and down out here. We're trying to work out what is best. Wind, less tide. Someone's probably got it right. We had some real fickle breeze where we were looking at shaking the reef out. We've gone past that now. We're back into, well, a decent breeze. We've got a good heel on. And now we're working our way back towards Ryde Sands to the lesser tide. And I think when we get less wind, we'll come back out and ignore the tide. Who knows what we're going to do? I'm just going to do what I'm told.
4 minutes to tack back out. And we need to tack to death. We're going to have to do it because it will absolutely just be a cliff.
Yeah. I've not got to show you much of that race, but that's us finished. All chaotic, loads of boats, breakages. And there's the next thumbnail.